you like thinking in your head, oh, people are going to judge me in some way?
Yeah, I don't like people be like, what's this lad at? Like,
Yeah.
what does he know? My aunt died recently and it's just really tough. Like, people have been taken at such young ages and it's just incomprehensible. It's not just tough on me. Like, I know speaking to my mother recently, she hasn't really slept fully since it because my mom's just retired and she would have went to college with my aunt in what would have been St. Pat's back the years. We can spend time in Flannery's, we can spend time in Coppers, but like at the end of the day, it's a lot more beneficial to like do something for a bigger cause.
Yeah.
And like because I feel like a lot of society, it's very artificial.
Yeah.
We just need to get out there. Just live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Business Student Podcast, where I show you that you can be financially secure and achieve your dreams. I'm here on after a run with David Pearce from the Global Business Spain course. He's in my year. And today I'm talking to him because he's doing a great thing. Maybe you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so on 16th of November, I'll be running the Gap of Dunloe Marathon in association with the Irish Cancer Society. Like, I know numerous people have family members who've passed with cancer, and it's really sad. Like, I know myself, my own family, my aunt died recently, and it's just really tough. Like, people have been taken at such young ages, and it's just incomprehensible. But like, hopefully with the help of the Irish Cancer Society, we can help the families as well as help fund research and also inform those who have cancer maybe at an earlier stage so they can get the treatment at the right time and the operations so the effects of the cancer aren't so bad. So yeah, so it's great to be on this podcast, Carl. Thank you very much for having me.
No, about it. I know myself that there is some history of cancer in my family, and my granddad recently went through it. Luckily, they were able to put it out. But I think it's really hard to speak about it because you don't really realize how much it can affect you until it happens in your family. And even then, your eyes like, oh, this actually happening. It's actually really real. Like it's someone that I'm really close with. Or like before, it was like my mom's cousin, and I was still kind of like mentally not connected that it was actually happening. Um, I was finding out like about your aunt. I know it must have been really hard.
Yeah, it was tough. Like we first knew she had it like in June, I'd say. Like the Easter before, she had been in America and traveling like best time of her life, and like she's still in work. She was still in work, like doing well, and yeah. So it was just like this can't be going on. Like seriously, like what's happening here? But and then you're just hoping, okay, we're gonna have to deal with this and hope that something good comes in the end. But it just after the second half of treatment, it just got vicious and more vicious. And sadly, she passed in September. And like, it's not just tough on me. Like, I know speaking to my mother recently, she hasn't really slept fully since it because my mom's just retired and she would have went to college with my aunt in what would have been St. Pat's back the years. And like, they met there and obviously they were good friends, and my mom introduced her to my uncle. It's quite a funny story. They were on a boat with one of my other mom's friends one day, and the boat hit a rock. And so they had to call in the big strong men. So the big older brother got the call up, and obviously they met. So they had a great family. Like I've four great cousins, all older than me, and they're all doing like brilliant things. And it's just hard to see for them, like, because like she shouldn't be gone. But
Yeah.
it's happened, and I suppose we just have to unite as a family and the thing that stood out to me the most was the last time I remember talking about with her was her bucket list. And it's just like, you take life for granted. Like, you can put yourself in a hole and complain and find problems, but at the end of the day, you only have so much time in Earth, and like you just have to get out there and enjoy it to the max. Like, so I think if there's any key learning points, it's just do your best with whatever you're doing, enjoy it to the most, and experience, like, because there's nothing like experience some different things.
Yeah. And like next month you'll be run the marathon itself, like exactly in a month. And you've been training for the past month. Has there be any moments where you're like you didn't want to really train, but then maybe because of the purpose of why you're doing it, it's a lot easier to kind of like get back into it?
Yeah, of course, like it's hard to motivate yourself to run the whole time because your body's sore the whole time. Like, I'm still playing hockey to a high level. I'm still playing soccer when I go home. I'm still trying to go to the gym and do other things. So, like, I'm training, I'd say 8 times total, including match a week. And my legs are aching, but like, I know that there's nothing I'd rather do. Like, I just have to keep pushing, and like I enjoy pushing myself and being busy and doing that the most. Like, and obviously with the running, I'm like, ah, sure, I'm doing sports, I'll get away with it. But I'm like, no, I'm doing this for a purpose, and I'm doing this to reach an end goal. So I need to put in the principles. Like, on Tuesday, I was going to do a run. I was only going to do 20K. And then I was like, no, you're doing this for a bigger reason. Like, you're doing this to prepare for a marathon. So I ended up doing 32K because I knew that was going to stand me better and just motivating me, knowing that I'm lucky to be in the place that I'm able to train for a marathon, able to run around wherever. You just don't have to worry. Like, I know some people, it hurts to run, it hurts to walk, and like it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, I can relate to that, like in terms of rowing, because as you can tell, I'm not the tallest person. You'd be a much faster rower than me without getting training. But I know I'm not going to get to like international level probably. But with me, like, I want to see how far can I push myself, because I know if I push myself to even like the national level somehow, uh, and some kids like that is as short as me sees that like somebody can do something like that. It's like for that greater purpose. So even though like sitting on a rowing machine for 2 hours on your own, especially in a commercial gym where everybody thinks, why is this guy uh, on a machine for like 2 hours nonstop, sweating balls, like absolutely red as a tomato. Then I just remind myself, well, yeah, I'm not just doing this for myself to like be fair and like prove to myself that I can do it. It's just about uh, to show other people. So like one time I decided on a like a Tuesday, I think, to a nerd marathon. I was there for 3 hours and then I was like wanting to give up. But then someone walked past me, probably looked at the screen, or at least that's what I told myself. I was like, okay, just keep pushing yourself. I was absolutely aching. I had to just take and sit in the bath for like half an hour or something in warm water. But it
Did
was,
you have Epsom salts?
uh, no, I think my ma bought a gel recently. That would have been probably
No,
really
you
good.
need to get Epsom
Yeah.
salts. Best way to replace.
I was actually surprised, as in a good way, when I saw how quickly you raised the money. Were you surprised with that yourself?
Like, I was delighted because it's just like I have a great network of people, like my family, my friends. Like, I'm so lucky to have them all. Like, and thank you very much for donating yourself. It's just like I know it's so close to everyone, and yeah, no, I was really happy. I wouldn't say surprised because I know people are really kind, so I was just really grateful for everything. And no, like, my aim in the end is just to make as much money as I can for them because I think the work they do, as I've mentioned before, is brilliant. And it's just to give back, like, and also it's to raise awareness because more than anything, there's so many services that are provided by them that people don't know about. And if people are struggling, even family members, like they should just feel free and call, like they've cancer servicing and everything.
Mhm.
And like the breast check, like this month is breast check awareness month. So just that, like, because it saves a lot of lives as well, because the awareness more than anything, people getting checked, people being told before the thing actually grows, like, and prostate as well, like peeing in a bag, like, and shitting in a bag. Sorry.
No, my granddad
Yeah,
has to do that after
yeah,
the cancer now. So like it's not
yeah,
a weird thing.
yeah. But like, no, it's important because it just, I think after 50, the rate of cancer is significantly higher. And of course, I know people younger age who sadly have suffered with it as well. But saying that, like, when you get cancer, is not saying everyone's dying is the one thing it might sound I'm ignoring, but I also know that, and I'm trying to raise awareness about that as well.
Yeah.
Like, that there's services available to people to help them. But also a big mission of mine is just to unite people and like know that your loss of life isn't just you on your own. It's like everyone together, because it's just so many people in Ireland have experienced the same experiences.
Yeah.
And it's just to unite everyone and have a common goal, and just the biggest thing in life is just be happy.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because like I guess with cancer it's just like so out of your control. Like in a way, yeah, you can like reduce your risk, but at the end of the day it kind of comes down to chance of like it's developing. You always have cancer cells in you,
yeah,
but sometimes they'll just come out of nowhere. So I guess that's why. Like I was like going through a suicidal time, and I was thinking when I wanted to kill myself, it was like selfish in a way because like I can technically control it, but thankfully I didn't do anything. But with cancer, it's just like it's a completely different thing because it's just so out of your control.
yeah. And I
Um,
suppose with suicide, it can feel out your control.
yeah,
And like, if you don't reach out to the services that are there as well, like I know there's so many different helplines that are available out there. And just like Living Links, I know Matt does a lot of work with them, and there's obviously Pieta House. Like, you can feel you're totally out of control, like you just lose the run of yourself. But thankfully, we have you here today, so we have
yeah,
your great podcast.
yeah, and like it gives you a great perspective that like oh, it can never actually get that bad again because I know I can identify when it gets really bad. I remember you like speaking during the run about like how you felt like you didn't know anybody in Dublin, but then you found support in like different sports teams.
Yeah, so like when I came up to Dublin for college, like I'm from Tipperary originally. I went to school in Limerick. So I knew maybe 10 people all together, but like to be obviously different colleges, different, like maybe in teams and different places. Like, it's not like I had nobody, but it's also I didn't have a defined network. So like I found it great last year. I was playing hockey with Pembroke, and like the older lads just took me under the wing, and like they just helped me whenever, because Irish with games like every weekend I would be up in Dublin, and most of my college friends would be gone home. So it was great to just have another network for people to reach out to. And like, just like I had really fond memory of last year, and this year I've moved club to UCD, and it's exactly the same. Like, there's really great people there to support you. Like, I found sport, any team you play on, it's you don't get that connection with anything else. Like, I love my soccer team at home. Like, whenever I go home, the thing I want to do is play with them, and like the lads are great. Like, it must be annoying me coming home once in a while to play with you, but like that, I'm not there more regularly. But like, just honest, genuine people. Because the thing is, like, you all have the same goal. You all want
Yeah,
to win, obviously, but you want to win together. And I think that's great. Like hurling, like the one thing I was reared on, and I think anyone should be reared on, is sports, because you learn so many different qualities. Like I know at the minute we're both looking for internships, and luckily you found one. And like it's just all the qualities that like you list off. Like if you look at most of them and analyze them, like sports has most of them.
Yeah, because like you're just trying to get everyone to be available for training it sometimes, and you're all trying to pursue the same goal. So I guess like it's an internship, it's the same thing. You're just trying to get the same goal, but you're also trying to work together because you enjoy working together. And I think like my main thing for the internship is like find people I like to work around, because in TY, my first work placement work experience, it was in a cafe. I thought that'd be a job for me. But then my second job work experience was like in an office, and I thought, oh, I wouldn't enjoy it. But then I found out it's just about the people you work with. So it's kind of like the same in sports. Like I wanted to race with all of my friends. We didn't have enough guys for put out 8-person boat. We only had 7, and we were trying to decide, do we go to races with 4 people, and then 3 people stay as novices, and then the 4 of us have to go up a boat class in next year, like this year. And we decided like we'd like to stick together. Unfortunately, like some people dropped off this year, but like you can't force people to like do a sport. And I was like, I only wanted to race with them because I wanted to spend time with them. But like we're still, it's not like we have to do the sport together to be friends. I was like, at the start of first year, I was like really worried that I wouldn't have much friends, because my best friend, he's in Trinity, Diego, he's doing maths, and I was worried that like, oh, I'll only see him once a week, and then during college I'll be quite alone. But then I found out that I've made really good friends through rowing, through the course. So that's kind of great about sports and just the college in general, that like you get to meet so many people.
Yeah, no, I'd be like a big advocate for both of that. Like at DCU as well, I think a really nice college, because we're lucky in our course that it's not like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Like we're lucky we have a nice size of course that you're able to get fully know people. And I think that's lucky, like, and build connections, build groups and friendships and different things.
Yeah.
Like the cross friendships is great as well. And like sports is just unbelievable for that. Like, you know, people on different teams, and you know their friends, and then you know it's just big spiral. Like, so no, it's definitely great. And like rowing as well, I know you're all in the same boat, and quite literally you're all rowing together for the one goal. So no, it's impressive. Like, and you're also using a lot of upper body and lower body to like push yourselves and keep going. And like you can see the finish in sight, and you're just shouting at each other. Like,
oh yeah, the first race we had, like we were racing against Friendly and Friendly. I fell out of my seat by the end of it. I was in like strokes, which is like the first person in the boat, send the rhythm for everybody else. I fell out of my seat. I just kept on our own, and it was so fun, just like racing all of us together. It was just like unbelievable. Just like, even though we lost by like a boat length, it was still like we were all really proud of ourselves, because like we were kind of the underdogs, because we don't have so much facilities as Trinity and UCD for rowing. So that's that. But I guess I wanted to ask you, uh, were you ever like scared to like start posting the stuff for the marathon? Were you like thinking in your head, oh, people are gonna judge me in some way?
yeah, I don't like people be like, what's this lad at? Like,
Yeah.
what does he know? Sure, he's only doing this for show. Like, he's not actually going to do it. Like, it's a marathon, and like, oh, he might train for a week, but sure, he's not going to keep it. Yeah, but obviously people have different perspectives, but also then there's great people who are like really supportive. Like, I know so many people who've been really kind to me and reached out and be like, you're doing great work, and like that's what motivates me. Like, whatever, if anyone ever was negative, whatever. Yeah. It's what they think, it's their opinion. and they're entitled to their opinion, but you just have to do what you feel is right
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like getting this podcast out to people, you're reaching different audiences, like helping inform people to get different perspectives. It's really good because you need an open mindset. Like, I think the problem we're seeing now on social media and everything is people are too straight line and everyone's focused on their opinion and not what other people think. And that's why I think we have problems in the country and like different places, like people saying, "Oh, I only want this," and people are being greedy and people are being stubborn and people are being like children because you're like, "Oh, I'm not going to share my toy with you." I know this is a very juvenile example, but like that's the mentality people
Yeah.
still have. And I don't think it's right. Like, I think you should embrace others. Others might have opinions you disagree with, and that's perfectly fine, but that's their opinion. Okay? They might be harmful in some aspects, but they've said it. You shouldn't let that affect you.
Yeah. Like, uh, for me, like criticism only hurts when it's from people I care about. Because when I record poetry on TikTok, like say my poems out loud, I'd get a lot of hate from like Polish teenagers, and I wouldn't really mind because they'd never be original. It'd always be the same thing. Say rhubarb, which in Polish sounds a lot funnier when I say because I have like a speech impediment kind of. But like I wouldn't really care. Like my family would ask me, "Oh, do you really not care that people are like hating on you?" But I'd say like I checked the person's account. It's a 14-year-old from Poland and on a private account, so I don't really care. But I guess when people I care about give me criticism, which I get from their perspective, it slightly hurts, but there's also that part of me like, okay, but I know I'm doing the right thing, even though I won't like make full-time income from poetry today or tomorrow, I'll still chip away at it. And in 20 years, it'll become my full-time job. I know it sounds crazy, but I believe in myself. And I guess that's just why your 20s or 40s, just like working on that dream.
Oh, I know it sounds a bit wrong to say, and I don't know if you want me to say it, but most poets are better when they die.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, um, obviously we study poetry in school,
yeah,
and I think it's cool that you're doing different perspective, like you're doing your own
yeah,
native poetry, because not that I would ever fully have connected with poetry, but I think it does give you a great connection to whatever you're doing. Because, like, obviously, I remember reading Yeats and Healy and Paul Meehan and all these different Sylvia Plath, and obviously some of them are a bit more darker than others.
yeah.
But like, I think it's great that you're spreading your native tongue, and also you're getting people to go back to the culture to learn and experience. So I think that's really cool as well.
Yeah, and like it's important for like people right now to do kind of the arts, like not just poetry, but like music. It's important to like have new music. You bring the perspective of the now. Of course, like the poetry that all the greats like in Poland, like Adam Mickiewicz, Jan Kwanowski, but like in Ireland, like James Heaney and W.B. Yeats, like they'd have another perspective, which is important, but also to connect. You kind of have to be living in the moment, like the present zeitgeist. Like if I'm writing about the things that are relevant to me now, of course there'll be some universal themes like love, friendship, loneliness, like I know being connected with nature, but uh, it's good that I want to kind of inspire people to write poetry, to read poetry, not just for like for them to read mine, but like help all the other people that are writing poetry to like spread it.
And it's good that you're able to express yourself,
Yeah,
of course. Like, I know that it's a deeper feeling, like,
yeah,
and you're able to get whatever's on your chest or whatever's in your thoughts. Oh, and also it might help others because others might be going through the same thing, thinking the same way. And like you're saying, inspiring people, like, at the end of this, like, I want other people to get more active, like more running, but I also want to see more people doing things for charitable causes because I think that if we're not, like, what's the point? Like, we can spend time in Flannery's, I can spend time in Coppers, but like at the end of the day, it's a lot more beneficial to like do something for a bigger cause and like have aims and experience stuff. Like because I feel like a lot of society it's very artificial and
Yeah,
you just need to get out there and just live.
yeah, and I feel like a lot of people won't donate or like pretend they donate, like because sometimes it is overwhelming. But like at the end of the day, you have to realize if you just pick one cause, that's more than enough to help the world. It's not about helping everybody. It's about by being yourself. Also, you're kind of being charitable in the way that you show people that yeah, you can be yourself. Like I know not everybody will like the way I am. Sometimes I'm too much for people. But I'm like I'd rather be myself to show other people that you can be yourself, and that's just kind of like the one thing I'm working on. But then you just have to remember that just work on the one thing, and everything else will fall into place.
And everything's for a reason in the end. Like there's a process and you can follow the process. And of course, things don't go right every time. Like you're not following a straight path, and there's different challenges and different obstacles in place, but they're in place to learn from them and to help grow. And I see, like, from talking to you, there's been obstacles, there's been challenges, but you've been able to grow and get a greater perspective due to them. So I
Yeah,
think that's really cool.
and like some people will think that why is like sometimes people will meet me and they're like this is the first time I'm meeting them, but I'm telling a lot about myself. And some people will take that as like, why is he being so vulnerable the first time with me? But I treat let's say like when I was being suicidal, my eating disorders, like I treat them as another piece of information. If I want to be understood, but it's also about just giving space to people like, hey, if you want to talk to me, you don't have to talk to me specifically, but you'll feel like, oh, I can share this with someone because sometimes it's easier to share with a stranger. I'm kind of thinking about strangers. We have this tradition on the podcast I only started recently, where I asked each guest for a problem that they're struggling with, and I get the next guest to kind of helping them with that. So the previous guest I had on, which unfortunately I don't have the recording of. Well, I do, but it sounds very bad because I didn't check the mics properly. Ronald Scholes, he's nicknamed the Expo Grandpa. So since the like 1960s, 1980s, he's gone to every like World Expo. He's been over to 21 and a half supposedly expos and 18 Olympics. He collects pins. He's like, it was an amazing chat. If you can find him, like his interviews are great. Now I haven't been able to contact him, probably because he has a flip. He told me he has a flip phone and only uses WhatsApp while he's away. But I guess the thing I saw, maybe something he's struggling with, is like when he was younger, uh, he sometimes couldn't save up for the expos. So I had to do some crazy thing like selling his furniture to a pawn shop. But I guess you're in your 20s now. How do you balance saving up for your future and like having some balance, but then also enjoying your 20s and relaxing in a way?
I feel like you have to find the balance. Like you can't obviously do everything that you want. Like you have to turn down some opportunities at stages, but also you have to go and take the opportunities that come up because I suppose you're not in the same position as you would be in at different stages. Like at the minute, we're lucky we have so much time. Like obviously we're studying the whole time. I'm working, but I feel like where time is so valuable at this stage because you're not locked into a full job and that obviously you should go and do things, but I think a lot of people think you have to pay to go and do things. And I think you can do so much without paying. Like you could cycle, run, go anywhere, go for a hike,
Yeah,
do anything. Like, and it doesn't have to be spending €100 and all this.
yeah,
Like, I think, like, I know myself, I'm guilty to it as well. Like, I've went on nights out and you spend €100 maybe like on one and you're like, this is such a waste at some stage. Obviously, you can have brilliant nights out, But I know, like, if you're just clever with it, like, there's flights to Madrid, there's flights to Paris, there's flights to different places. And if you pick the right time, like, if you went like today, I'd say you could get €80 return.
Yeah.
You just need to, like, accommodation. If you're just clever, go to a hostel. You don't need to stay in a hotel,
Yeah.
and you get it cheaper. And then there's so many free things you can do. Like, I know I was in Santiago for the summer, and you could go to like different museums for free and just like look at different architecture and all that, and that brings joy as well. So I think going back to him, like, traveling, of course, he had to make sacrifices, and you do have to make sacrifices. Like, you might have to take on work when you would rather go and do something. Like, I know last year, this, I might sound like a bit entitled for this, but last year I was coaching, and like, I know my friends could be going to free drinks or different things, but I would have to coach at that time, and I'd be on the pitch, and I was working every like Monday and Wednesday at that time for a specific time. And like, you just have to give up some opportunity, like maybe nights out or whatever. But in the end, like, you're able to afford different things.
Yeah.
Like, you're able to afford, luckily, last year I was able to afford to go skiing. And it's something I'd suggest to anyone because it's such a different aspect of life. Like, you're going down a big mountain at quite fast speed, and like, if you take a wrong turn, you might hurt yourself badly. But you're also, it's such freedom, and you're in such beautiful nature, and it's just, it can be very nice and quiet, but also it can be quite busy, and you have such a mix of people as well. So that's what I think about sacrifices and stuff.
Yeah, and
It's
as long as you're kind of like doing it with intention, you're going to be a lot happier. Let's say if you intended to scroll for 2 hours and you actually wanted to do it, then you'd be happy with yourself. But most of the time, you're not like intending to do it. So like you can kind of enjoy anything as long as you have a different perspective. And I guess that's everything. Thanks, David.
Thank you very much for having me.
It was a great conversation, and I'll put the link to the fundraiser in the show notes. And thanks everyone for listening to us. See you in about 2 weeks.